place value. I have information up that Ms. Foster has already shared with you, but I wanted you to have it up so that you can put your eyes on it, and during the lesson, you can always feel free to refer to that area. First, your unit that you're working on in math is called Extending Place 10 Understanding. Let's say that together. Extending Place 10 Understanding. That means you've already had a chance to learn something about Base 10, whether it was in kindergarten, first grade, and now you're learning more in second grade. And I see some of you nodding your head like, yeah, I've done that before. That's what extending means. You're taking what you already know and applying it to some new strategies and new skills. Also, you have your standard. Your standard is exactly what the lessons that you're learning in this unit will cover. You're learning about 3 digits of a 3-digit number, how to represent it, hundreds, tens, and ones. Also, you have another standard that's embedded in your lesson where you're going to read a number in several different ways. You're going to read it by looking at just the number, looking at that number's name, expanded form, and I actually added something a little cooler onto that. We're going to look at a model of what the number is. And we'll look at a model by using base 10 blocks. Right, you see them already over there. So we're going to have a chance to do all of that within our mini lesson. I want you to put your eyes back on the chair this way. And I want you to think for a moment. Everybody's house in here is pretty much different. Some people have mom, dad, sister, brother. Some people have mom, dad. Maybe you have grandma and a couple of your brothers and sisters. Or maybe it's just you and dad. Everybody's household makeup is different. But I wanted to share with you my household makeup. And maybe that can help you a little bit with place value. Do you want to listen and hear about that? Yeah. Okay, I need you to listen. It's not going to get confusing. But you have to listen very carefully because we're going to take this example of something that's real life and we're going to actually apply it to what you need to know in math. Because is math just happening in Ms. Foster's classroom and your classroom?
No.
Is math happening at Greenbrier Mall?
No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Some of you said no, some of you said yes. And math is all around you. The numbers that you use in class, the numbers that you use at home during homework, the same number that you have to use when you go to the mall to buy your brand new Jordans. When you buy your shoes at the store, do they say, oh, you know what, they're free, don't worry about it? Do they say that? No, they give you an amount. So we also know with our essential question, place value helps us to locate a number on the number line. And that ties in with understanding that numbers are just not floating in the air. They just don't pop up in our minds. We have number lines, as Ms. Foster has above, to help guide where numbers are placed. And hopefully by learning about place value, you'll understand more about numbers. So let's talk about Mrs. Mentor's house. I have my husband, myself, and my son living in the house. He's 3 years old. He's 3. So we have a father. What else? What am I? A mother and a son or a child. And in your house, the makeup may be different, but remember I said, just for now, we're talking about whose house? My house. So in my house, the person who's probably the biggest in our house, who do you think is probably the biggest? Dad. Dad always tends to be, and sometimes people's dads are kind of small, but in our household, my son's dad is pretty tall. So, yeah. And who would be next? If I have a 3-year-old and there's me, there's dad, who do you think would be the next inside?
You.
Yes, the mom. And then, who do we have left?
The child.
The child. I want you to think about that in terms of what place value means. I have here a chart that I like to share with you. And I'm going to allow you to tell me what it is before I uncover it. Because you know some of this information, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, right. What place that... I'm pointing right here. I'm feeling right here.
0.
Okay, I heard someone say 0. I heard someone say 1. And that's fine. We're sharing. And someone said 10.
Yes!
One.
10.
And we're going to stop there because I really want this to be in your mind about these 3 place values just for today's lesson. But Miss Foster is going to take you even higher to 1,000, I believe, before you're finished with your unit. Now, put your attention right here, and you can move back to your special seat. Now, if I relate it back to my house, and who's in my house again? The and the child. So, what place value do you think the child will be in?
The one.
Because the ones is the child, and the ones is at the largest place value out of the 3 smallest.
Small.
It's the smallest. It has the smallest value. And where would the dad fit in? 100. Because out of the ones that we're talking about right now, that will be the largest one. And where would the mom fit in?
In the 10.
In the 10s. Very good. So you have an understanding as to, just thinking about it in regards to my family, dad, mom,
Child.
very good. Think of numbers the same way as you're breaking them down. Let's get a number right here. And when we take a number from right here, we're going to actually put it on our anchor chart. And I'm going to leave this anchor chart in here. And Miss Foster can share it with you. It can even turn into a math center. And it's laminated so that you can feel free to write on it. And we're going to do a problem using the anchor chart. So right now, I'm going to choose a number.
2 1. 3. It's 32.
Let me see.
12. 212.
Very good. 212. And then we're going to see how that number breaks down in ways that we can write in standard form, written form, expanded form, and pictorial form. And sometimes you may hear the word pictorial being used as picture form or model form. Those are some of the same words that you have listed in your vocabulary words for your unit. Let's say expanded form,
Expanded form.
which would be the 3rd form. Right there, the red, you don't have to repeat that, the red one. And then you have your 100, say 100.
100.
And we already had a chance to see that. Ones.
1.
And I don't know why I didn't say 10s on there, but we know that we're using the 10s as well. And place value.
And place value.
And place value will be exactly where the numbers are and how much they are worth. Let's turn our attention towards the anchor chart. And we're going to use this number and break it down in all those formats. Now I'm going to need some space as I travel over here. Can you go back to where you were sitting, please? And don't move from there anymore. Excuse me. All right, and this is going to be a listening activity. Move back to me, sweetheart. A listening activity. Remember, we talked about mini lessons. Are they very long or very short?
Very short.
Very good. So you have to be what type of listener?
Very good.
A very good listener. All right, standard form. Standard form is exactly how you see the number. Normally on a number line, normally on a receipt, or if you're walking through the store, the number that is written. Let's say this number.
212.
Very good. Now you're going to write the number out.
212.
Expanded form. Now you're going to have to actually write the value of each of those digits.
200.
Let's say that again.
200 plus 10 equals
And we say 10 because the 1 is in what place?
the 10 plus 2.
So let's say the full expanded form.
200 plus 10 equals 2
Plus model, and I want you to listen. 200 plus 10 plus 2. That's your expanded form. Stay still and focus, please. And then your pictorial form, Miss Foster may allow you to draw it on here. And I'm going to do both. I'm going to draw it, and I'm going to also show you using your base 10 manipulatives. So, this is going to serve in the same capacity as these.
Wow.
And then, I want you to be a listener. This is going to serve in the same capacity as those. One, 10.
We do a line, Miss Mentor.
Oh.
Just one line.
Okay. You like me to do one line instead?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we.
What they're used to.
Yeah, it
We'll
takes
stick
less time.
exactly
It's
what
called a
you're
quick
used to.
draw.
That's good. One line for your what place value?
10.
All right. And then we're going to do the cubes to represent the ones.
We do circles, but
And we'll do circles to stay consistent with exactly what you're doing in your classroom. Now, do you see where your hundreds place?
Yes.
How many?
2.
All right. Do you see your tens?
Yes.
How many?
1.
Very good. Do you see your ones represented?
2.
Very good. Today during our mini lesson, we have a chance to discuss and learn ways, and I want you to say it along with me.
Ways to write numbers.
Very good. Thank you, boys and girls. You did an excellent job.